So this one really bothers me because it should have been something in 4, and that's better companion quests. They did nothing with this in Fallout 3. Nothing at all. There's essentially no companion quests for the most part. There's a little bit of interaction where you can get some companions to open up a little bit and talk a little more about their past or do something. Mm-hmm. There's also a lot of companions, like in Fallout 3, where you have Butch and others where they just essentially do nothing. You just kind of go with them, and that's it. Fox plays directly into the storyline, but that's really it. And there's no real focus on side content. You know, Fallout New Vegas started going this direction. They started doing stuff with each character having a story, but they were relatively short stories that didn't really go too far. They had some interesting quests like Cass with the caravan, but they weren't very long.
No.
They were just relatively short. And then Fallout 4, it kind of stuck with that theme. I mean, they're just relatively short quests, and then at the end you hit a point where it's just the same dialogue over and over again once you've romanced them.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Fallout 76 probably was the worst of all of this, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Even worse than 3. Because at least for 3, your companions could actually follow you around and help you in the game, whereas if Fallout 76, it's just like, oh, I'm going to hang out at this camp. And it's like, okay, very interesting. I don't care at all about you now.
Yep.
I think in the future Fallout games, I think they really need better companion quests, because the companions from Fallout 3, New Vegas, and 4, I thought were pretty cool because they actually could follow you around. You got to know them. You actually got to care about their fighting style and all that stuff. Fallout 76 actually added on an extended story for all the companions. The problem is, because they don't follow you around in the game, you don't care about them.
Right, you just have to go back and keep talking to them over and over.
Yeah, like, why do I care about Beckett?
Right.
In Fallout 76, why do I care? He just sits at my house and has a bar set up.
Well, and they kind of
come
come
interesting.
Off, they kind of come off annoying, too, because in other games, obviously an RPG trope is you're the errand boy.
Yeah.
But now even your companions are making you the errand boy. And
right.
They won't go with you.
And that's it, yeah. And
so they become obnoxious.
Right. And like, I've been actually doing Beckett's quest now, and it's pointless stuff. It's stuff like, well, hey, I want to kill the, what are they called? The Blood Eagles?
Yeah, this leader of the Blood Eagles, because
like,
I owe them money, or
right.
because they are coming after me.
And then,
can you do it?
Right, and then the entire quest is just stuff like, well, hey, can you go pick up Edwin's diary? And it's like, why do I care about this?
Well, this would all work.
Why is this interesting?
You're right. This would all work if he went with you.
Yes.
Because at least
because
then...
he has dialogue that interacts with Edwin's diary, and I can actually know why it matters. Instead of just stuff like, well, thanks for doing that. Well, I guess you'll stick around in the future. And then it's like, okay, thanks.
You being an errand boy is something I'm fine with in RPGs. I understand that's a core part of it. Not everybody who sends you on a quest is going to come with.
Right.
But basically your core companions now aren't.
Yeah, it just...
That's pretty weird. And, you know, I think Fallout 4, they did this same kind of thing, except the companions went with you, and it added a ton of life to those quests. Yes. I think, too, to add on to your thing, I know I care about this more than you, because I like the role-playing side of these games a lot.
I'm really into role-playing.
Well, I'm not into it where it's in no shade to anyone. I'm not, like, going to go on GTA 5... go on GTA Online and pretend to be a police officer like some people do. You know what I mean? Where they'll have like this whole procedure thing for their roleplay. But like for me, one of the things is immersing myself in a world, so I really want to see a better romance system.
Yeah.
I think that ties into the companions a lot, because someone like Kate, who is probably my favorite companion in Fallout 4, and my favorite romance in Fallout 4, because I just have this weird thing for like broken girls who need to be saved. I think I have like a weird trauma thing.
I think so.
Anyways, but with her, I really liked her storyline, but then it hits the point at the end where it's just like, how are you doing? I'm good. How are you?
Right.
Oh, I'm in love with you. The feeling is mutual. Thanks. Right. And that's like all the dialogue that's left.
Yeah.
I know that we're long off from procedurally generated dialogue that makes sense or anything like that, but I think you need to put a lot more effort into your companion's dialogue and into adding a lot more interactivity. When you are going into a story mission and Kate is with you, she should have some different things to add to the story going on than just, well, that's interesting. And a lot of the vanilla dialogue they have, or like the world dialogue they have, where it actually changes with the companion that's there too, is just basic things like, you're not going to let them get away with that, are you? Or just very basic generic things. So not only do you have a dialogue tree that just inevitably runs out and just becomes repeating, but also you don't have enough dialogue going on in the world itself to make some of those characters feel fully alive, even in Fallout 4. I know that Starfield is trying to change some of this. I remember that some of the guys, at Bethesda said it's going to have like a million lines of dialogue or just something insane. It has like 5 times as much as Fallout 4, I believe. So they're trying. But my point is just with a game where you're trying to immerse yourself in a world, your companions need to feel like people.
Right.
I know they'll probably never hit the point where they feel like a real person sitting next to you, but you need to create that illusion that this character is a person with you.
Yeah, that's the problem with a lot of the companions. And going back to 76, too, my other problem with the companions in that game is you can only have one companion at your base at a time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like in Fallout New Vegas, for example, where you could have, however many, I think there was 8 companions, I don't remember, up in the penthouse.
Yeah, they can all be just sitting in the Lucky 38 while you go on missions.
Right. And they're just sitting there, you can go back, you can talk to them, you can hang out with them. You could send them to other places too. I always like to put them in the Lucky 38.
Yeah.
Just because then I know where they all are, but you could send them to other places too. In this one, it's just not even that. It's like, oh, well, you already have Beckett out. Well, I guess you can't have anyone else. And it's like, why? Like, literally, why? Why does this have to be a thing? Why can't I have 2 people walking around my house?
In Fallout 4, you can, but they don't interact with each other enough, or you enough.
Right.
They just kind of walk around in a meaningless pattern in Fallout 4 in your settlement, or they just do the job you assign them to.
Yes.
And again, I feel like that doesn't make them feel alive.
No, it doesn't at all.
It's closer to alive than just standing in one place.
Right.
But it's not nearly there enough.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I think it's just they need to take the problems of the companions, get rid of them in the next game, and actually make it feel like an actual companion rather than just like a person that you have fun with for a little bit and then you just hit like a random wall
and you're
of
like,
dialogue.
I'm done with this person.
Or
I don't care.
Or like 76, they just stand at your base and are like, hey, you want to buy a beer?
Yeah, they say the same thing over and over again there, too.
Yeah. It's boring.
I do want to say to your point, up till 76, this was getting better.
It was getting better, yes.
Fallout 3, it was the worst out of the modern,
yes.
Bethesda. And then Fallout New Vegas, it was much better. And then 4, it was probably on the same-ish level as New Vegas.
I'd say a little better than New Vegas, but yeah. Not much, though.
No, not much. And now, we're at the point where it's gotten worse, and it just kind of makes me worried.
Yeah. The other thing I have with companions, one more quick thing I have to say here is, I want just better companions. Because to be honest with you, I thought Fallout 4 had pretty good companions, like a pretty good wide variety of them. Mm-hmm. Fallout New Vegas, I really only got into like 2.
Mm-hmm.
All the other ones I felt like were very boring. And then Fallout 3, there wasn't really any that like I really liked. I
really only cared for Fox.
Yeah.
In Fallout 3.
That was pretty much it.
I'd have to go through them. I like more of them than you in New Vegas, but I don't like all of them.
Yeah.
And I think Arcade Gannon sucks.
Arcade Gannon's the worst one out of all of them. Yeah. And then Fallout 76, it's like, they don't even matter anyway. I'm not even going to pick them.
I just keep Sophia at my base, the astronaut.
It's boring.
Yeah.
So I would like actual better companions instead of, hey, here's 6 companions, 4 of them suck, and 2 of them are good. Take your pick.
Could I add one thing onto this as well?
Yeah.
You also need to make these companions customizable.
Yeah.
Because it's ridiculous that for Kate or for Hancock or any of these guys, all you can do is just put an outfit on them.
Yeah.
Why is that? Oh, well, the mouth needs to be mapped to the vocal track. Does it really? Because I can do insane crap with my Fallout 4 character. They still say words, and the words still match their mouth enough that no one cares.
Mm-hmm.
So why can't you do the same kind of character customization on the NPC that you are a companion with?
Right.
So why can't you take Kate and say, I'm going to change her nose? Mm-hmm. Why can't you take Beckett and say, I'm going to change his hairstyle?
Right.
That kind of stuff. I mean, it's little stuff like that makes the world feel more alive. I know you're playing with someone's life, but, it's a video game, so I think it would be fun to see.